Why do I always keep on coming back is a thought that I have been struggling to live with or been struggling to process for a very long time now. As a lot of you may know, I used to upload YouTube videos. A little bit inconsistently at the start, but honestly, between a stretch or for a stretch of like 6 to 8 years, from when I was like 12 or 14 to about 2021, I would upload videos, right? And it was when I was about 20, 21 that I started falling out of love with it because I felt like I was playing a character on camera. And honestly, I didn't know who I was anymore. Like, I was a 21-year-old kid. I'm only 24 now, so I don't know what I'm talking about, kid. But I was 21 years old, sort of without my own individual personality, and it was scary because I felt like I was playing a character to a degree, right? So I quit YouTube. I stopped doing YouTube, right? And after that, I turned what was a clothing brand or what was a merch line for my channel into a clothing brand. Sort of in the throes of that transitioning, I started a vintage reselling business. On top of that, I've also tried to make money off of like AI slop. I had a marketing agency and a digital production house before. I'm currently on my second one, and that's what I'm doing now full time. And it's going well, right? It's actually going very decent. Like, we've got 2 guys on payroll, Lewis and Zabe, the boys. Shout out to you, man. My business partner and one of my best friends, Josh. We've got a circle of about 6 to 8, including freelancers. The business is doing really well. So why do I always keep on coming back? I don't know. I can't tell you why. I have like a burning desire to upload YouTube videos, almost like a burden. It's almost like a burden on my soul. Whenever people tell me, "Oh, you should just quit. You should just forget about it. Like, you don't need to do this." Whenever I talk to somebody about my desire to upload social content or my desire to be present online, people tell me that it's all good. Like, you're doing fine. You don't need to go back to that, or you don't need to find comfort in the approval of others online. And I agree. You should never stoop low to where real life doesn't matter, but online is the only place you get your validation, right? I don't want validation online. But I'm going to be so real. Nothing makes me happier, and I mean almost nothing makes me happier than like actually uploading a YouTube video or uploading a video online. Like, hitting upload on a piece of art or a project that I've worked on, or a video that I've made, or something I've directed or colored or made the graphics for. Like, no feeling beats that. No feeling. Which is, I think, why I loved making clothes for so long. I didn't actually like making clothes. I liked the marketing of the clothes, right? I liked making the videos. I liked pressing upload on the videos. I liked editing them, directing them, coming up with the ideas. Okay. When I when I was trying to resell clothes, which, by the way, if any one of you remembers that sort of like 2 weeks of my life where I tried to resell vintage clothes, firstly, you're a fucking OG. Secondly, nothing sold. We didn't sell a single item, right? But I was so happy with the marketing of it and the way that it was presented online and the logo that we made and making the website. The creation and pressing upload and just putting something out into the world. That is what I loved the most, right? When I was making merch, like, yeah, we sold quite decent numbers, but the thing I loved the most was the marketing and the making of it. I didn't actually like the physical labor. And a lot of people are going to say, like, obviously, like, you don't like doing the hard part. But it's not that it was the hard part. It's like, I don't love screen printing clothes. I love making the product that's going to promote the clothes, right? All of that being said, going back to one of the biggest ones, when I was making YouTube videos, I didn't like the character that I was online. I didn't like the person I was in front of the camera. I didn't like the person I was portraying. I didn't like the way that my social profile, so to speak, in any aspect, was sort of coming across. What I did like was hitting post on a video that I had worked hard on. I like sort of putting that art out into the world, right? And I think that was what I loved the most about being a YouTuber at that time is making shit online, knowing that I could make money from it, and knowing that other people would receive it and be like, this is dope. That's what I liked the most. I didn't like, well, I barely got paid, I'll be real. My entire YouTube career, I made £430. And that's over fucking, what, 6 years? Do the maths, man. I was on like 3p an hour for 6 years. It's ridiculous. But again, anything I've ever made, anything I've tried to do, whether it's TikTok, whether, it doesn't matter what it is. Right, I posted a reel last month to promote a new color grading pack that my marketing agency is selling. The thing that I loved the most about that entire product was the marketing and making the videos for it. I guess maybe you could say because that's the fun part, but yeah, of course it is. I want to do the fucking fun part. I love marketing. I love market research. I love developing something sick. I love posting online, which brings me back to this, right? Why I'm making this video right here. The title of this video is probably going to be something along the lines of why do I always keep coming back, or why do I always keep going back? And I wrote a small passage the other day while I had this thought, so it was sort of fresh in my mind. So it might not feel very put together, but the reason that I keep coming back is because I feel like I'm burdened with purpose, right? I feel like only select few people will relate to the feeling of being burdened with glorious purpose. And a lot of people won't even know what it means to have purpose, let alone be burdened by it. People will question, why don't you just let it go then? Or why don't you let yourself free from the pressure of everything? Because it's not that simple, and it never will be. It's not the same feeling of working a job and having to show up every day. Because in theory, you could just quit and never go back. Yeah, you might go homeless and you might have to find another place to live, but you could do that too, right? The only reason you don't is because you've set a certain standard of quality for your life that you don't want to go below. Realistically, you could go homeless, right? But you choose not to. That's a choice. This isn't like a job. This isn't a choice. This isn't something that I can just quit and be content with. This is something I've been permanently binded with since the minute my brain could form its own thoughts. Something that I am burdened with. Most creatives and professionals alike can feel this too. The dying urge to make something even if they don't know what it is. The unexplainable feeling to be absolutely absolved by your work regardless of what it is. Regardless of the outcome of the picture, you feel the need to put paint to canvas knowing you may be upset with the final result. But it's within your calling to do so, as if failure was always a part of the journey. But failure sucks, and it's something that nobody wants to face head on. And every single great who has ever lived has experienced it in one way or another. In fact, most of them encourage it, and some of them even exclaim that it is vital in success. And I feel like I know failure more than most people. I'm currently in the throes of my 7th real business, long into my entrepreneurial journey, been through content, clothing brands, resale sites, AI slop, and I've landed here in marketing and social creation. But regardless of what I do, I always want to come back to making videos. Something that I've come to realize slowly is that this purpose is not something that I can truly conquer. It's not a flame that's meant to be extinguished. The entire purpose of this calling is to respond to it, not to put out the flame, because that can never truly happen. People like me and you don't get peace by quitting. You get peace by accepting the terms. And the terms are this: you're gonna make things, some will miss and some will land. You'll feel the urge again tomorrow regardless. And that's not a curse, it's the cost of being awake. You're not late, you're not broken, you're not indulging in fantasy. You're finally letting the part of you that's always been loud to stop whispering. So if you also feel that you're burdened with glorious purpose, respond to the calling. Don't conquer it, because it will only come back bigger, louder, and stronger.